Today we are making a video on Manjaro Linux 22.0.5. Here is the boot menu of Manjaro Linux. In order to boot in a live mode, go with the boot with open source drivers or with boot with proprietary drivers. You can choose any options, and here are few options available also. Let's boot it in a live mode. It's going to take up to like a maximum of a minute or minimum of 30 to 40 seconds, and I'm choosing a KDE Plasma desktop environment for this video, and I'm running it on a VMware which is with 40 GB of hard disk and 4 GB of RAM and 2 processors running right now. And here is almost about to load our desktop layout. It should be in a few seconds, and here is our Manjaro logo loading. It just released in a few days back, the 22.0.5 version, and we still have almost like a few more seconds for our desktop to load up. And as you can see, here is our mouse pointer which is running pretty much smoothly, and the Manjaro logo, and it is made by KDE Plasma. As you can see at the top right side, not top right side, it's bottom right side corner, and it should take a few more seconds. And I'm making another video of today which is Ubuntu Linux, so even go check that out. And here is our welcome screen. As you can see, Manjaro hello Sikaris 22.0.5, which is the latest version, and it is also available in KDE Plasma, Gnome and XFCE desktop environments. If you want, you can go check that out too. So the version is 0.7.0 of Manjaro hello. Let's first change the display resolution because as you can see, it has black screen. I'm using it on a VMware, so it's going to change the resolution automatic. So if you can't change the resolution automatic, you need to go to settings and system settings and change the display settings there, because if you have installed it on a hard disk, it's not going to automatically change. Here is the display and monitor. As you can see, mine is 1920 into 1080, and if you can't see the text or font size, you can change the scaling up to 150%. If you're using 1920 into 1080 this resolution, and 150 should be the best option, because it's the best setting to look the font size or text size should be pretty much clear. Let's check the about this system, and we are running a KDE Plasma version 5.26.5, which is a old version. The latest version is almost 5.27.5 or 27.4 is the latest version, and the framework is also the old version, because 5.104 is the latest version, and the Qt version is 5.15.8, which is also old, and the kernel version is 6.1, which is almost the latest. Not the latest. 6.2 should be the latest kernel right now. And graphics platform is the X11, and these are some hardware info of my PC, and this is the system D. I'm just going to run through fast because it's going to take a lot of time for the system D. So this is the some info. Let's scroll it down or run through pretty much fast. That's it. Let's close this thing and open the system monitor before opening any apps, because we need to know how much resources are consumed in the beginning of the video, and I'm going to show it at the end of the video, so you'll get an idea of how much resources are consumed in both the part. You can make that side by side and check out how much resources will be consumed. So here is the 1.3 GB of 4 GB RAM, and the CPU is running around below 30%. That's pretty good. and the applications are open right now is there here, you can see, and the history is this, and the CPU graph is almost there is some stable and there are some high peak like here and there, and the RAM is almost 1.4 GB. That's pretty bad, because 1.4 GB is not for a low-end PC. People who have 2 GB of RAM for their PCs, it's not good, because it's almost 1.4 GB. After opening like 4 to 5 apps, it's going to go up to 2.1 GB. So it should be very laggy on your 2 GB RAM PC. So you need to decide what to do with the Manjaro Linux. If you want to use it, you can use it. If you don't want, it's up to you. So let's go to let's first check the system monitor info, which is which you can call as a version. Let's check the version of the system monitor, which should be 5.26.5. Let's close this thing and let's type in few commands for the distro info. About the console is 22.12.2. The latest version should be like a 3, I guess. Let's type in few commands like inxi-sv8 for full distro info if it's available. Here is our full distro info. Host is Manjaro Linux. Kernel is 6.1.19-1, and it's based on Arch Linux with a 64-bit operating system or a 64-bit ISO file. Compiler GCC version is 12.2.1. And let's scroll down and see. Desktop environment is KDE Plasma, which I already mentioned, and the version is 5.26.5, and the Qt version is 5.15.8, and Kvin VT1DM SDDM distro Manjaro Linux and base Arch Linux. I'm running it on a VMware, so it's going to show VMware. And here is the RAM consumption of 4 GB, which is 1.36, which is almost 35%. And here is my processor, or a CPU you can call it, and display is X11, server is Xorg version 21.1.7. Here are some display resolutions available for the PC. OpenGL version is 4.1, Mesa 22.3.5. Let's scroll it down and find out some of the other type of info. Processors running right now are 239, uptime is 5 minutes, wake-ups is 21, initiate system D version 252, and compilers I already told, and Clang 15.0.7, shell version is 5.9, default bash version is 5.1.16, and INXI version is 3.3.25. Even you can use these commands like INXI. We'll get some info like inxi-small b. The first command was to get all the desktop info, and these are the commands which will give you separate info. The same info but in like a sub. You can call it like a subdivided or like that. Let's type in a few more commands like inxi-G and hit enter. Like example, let's type in another command which is cat:/etc and issue and hit enter. This is the live user password. It's also important. These are the credentials. You need to use it for the user and password. I'm running it as a live media or a live boot, you can call it. Let's type in desktop if it's available. Desktop is also pre-installed, and the memory is almost 908 MB of 4 GB of RAM. Tasks are running like 66. So let's check the version of we already checked the version, I guess. This is the version, so close this thing and let me take to their website by launching the Firefox web browser, because the Firefox web browser is the default browser for the Manjaro Linux. In every desktop environment, Firefox should be available. So here is our Firefox browser. The version should be like a 111, I guess, because it's the latest version you get, 111.0. And this is the official website, which is manjaro.org. So here is the website. Click on download and choose your architecture. Mine is the X60, which is 64-bit. If you want to go with ARM, you can go with ARM. And here are the desktop environments, and here are the community editions. This is the Plasma Desktop, XFCE, and GNOME. I'm using a KDE Plasma Desktop environment, so I'm going to choose download. You can download with a torrent or image. You can download minimal or a full ISO file. Here is the signature. Here is a checksum if you want to check the ISO file. So click on download image, which is and here is the version Manjaro KDE 22.0.5-230316, which was available or released or announced. Date was 23/03/16, which is March 16th, and the kernel version is 6.1, means 6.1. And you should always see the download name, so if you are downloading the right one or the other one, so be careful while downloading this. And if you want to check the ISO file signatures, you can check that. So let's close this thing, and this was the website, and this is the downloads. So let's close this thing, and let's try to open the installer. And I'm going to show you the process of installation. You already seen a bunch of videos on the YouTube, so I'm just going to show you the process or the formality of installation. As you can see, here is a Manjaro Linux 22.0.5 Sikaris. You need to check this before installation. So first you need to choose your language. I'm going to choose the American English language, which is just the English US, or you can choose any other language if you want, and click on next. It's going to pop up the location. You need to use your location. You can use any location if you want. There is no need to give you the actual location. I'm just going to choose the Los Angeles, America, or you can choose here by dragging the or clicking on the mouse right here, or you can directly point it on the map, which is available here. These are few customization. If you want, you can change it. I'm going to keep it like that for the sake of the video, and click on next. And here is the keyboard to choose. Mine is Dell keyboard, but it's going to automatically give me like a generic 105 key PC, and it works for me, so I'm going with it. And I'm choosing the English US with a default. You can choose anything you want. As you can see, there are plenty of options available. So click on next, and every option or every Linux distro has the same installation process, so no need to panic for that. And here is the partition setup. You need to be very careful while doing or while choosing these things, because erase disk means it's going to erase everything which is available in the hard disk, like media files, all the documents, all the things will be swiped out or completely destroyed. So be careful, and you need to have an idea of what you're doing, and you need to have a knowledge of what you're doing here. So this option will provide you to boot in a single boot, and this is for the partitioning resize. You can resize the partitions, and you can do like a dual boot, like with Windows or other Linux distros. You can do that option. So be careful while choosing this. I'm going to choose just the recommended settings. You can choose anything you want, and this is the option to encrypt your Linux distro or the ISO by providing the password, like a same passwords in both the boxes. It's going to encrypt the Linux distro and give you the protection through the viruses. And here is the bootloader option. I'm going to choose the default, because if you want, you can do it later, or if you don't want to install bootloader is important, so it's up to you to choose the option. And click on next, and you need to provide your username and password here. And I'm just going to type in the username. If everything is good, you will get a tick mark here. If everything is wrong, then you will get a into mark here or X mark. So be careful and type in the credentials here, and you need to provide the password for the PC. The password should be strong. For the sake of the video, I'm using the simple password. and write it down the password in some book like a diary or something like that, because it's going to help if you even forgot. So write it down. It's better to write it down instead of remembering. So this is the login automatically without asking for the password. If you want to use the same password for the administrator account, you can use it. If you want to change it, it's up to you. I'm going to choose the same password for the sake of the video and click on next. And here is the summary of what you choose in the previous installation process, like location, time zone, all these things, keyboard, partitioning, and this is the things happens after you click on install. And here is also the some info. If you want, you can read it. After clicking on install, it's going to take a few minutes. Depends on your PC, depends on the Linux ISO file. It's going to take like a maximum of 20 minutes or a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes. It all depends on the PCs also. So after installing, it's going to say finish, and you need to reboot your operating system or a PC. So it's going to be taking few seconds, and you will be having a Manjaro Linux 22.0.5 on your hard disk completely installed as a single boot or a dual boot. It depends on you where you choose the partitions settings. So that's the installation process. Let's close this thing and let's see the apps which comes pre-installed in the Manjaro Linux. These are all the apps which comes pre-installed. Almost every app is from the KDE Plasma desktop environment. So just these options or this softwares are from the Manjaro Linux. Everything was already available from the KDE Plasma desktop environment. So let's just open few apps. So these are some settings you can change if you want. Some info will be available there by clicking on the numbers they given here. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just showing the process there. And this is the software manager for the Manjaro Linux. Let's check which is PMAC 10.4.3-3 version. And these are the installed apps for the Manjaro Linux, and there are the versions of the apps here. So if you want, you can slow down the video and check the version. I'm just going to scroll it down very fast because there will be a bunch of apps there. It's going to take a lot of time. I'm just going to scroll it down very fast. If you want to slow it down, you can change the settings in a YouTube with the playback speed. Change the speed to 0.25. It's going to help you. And let's check the updates. These are all the updates available right now. As you can see, this is the installed version and this is the version for the update available. So let's fastly scroll it down again, so it doesn't take a time. And the updates available right now is around 1.7 GB. Right now I don't want to install it. So let's check the some apps info or the apps version. I'm not going to open every app. I'm just going to open few important apps, because the file manager and the almost every version will be something like a 22.12 and 0.1 or 2 or 3 like that. So you need to have an idea of that too. Elisa music player. Let's check the info of the Elisa. Again, I already told the version will be like this. On the Office side, do we get we got only Office. I thought it should be like a library Office, but only Office. The version is 7.3.0.184. On the utility side, Kate editor will be like a 22.12.2, because it's the same version available like that. Manjaro Hello, we already saw that. Toolbox, we also opened that. Multimedia VLC media player. Let's check the version of the VLC media player and end the video. The version is 3.0.18. Let's open the system monitor and check the system resources, because we used the distro for few minutes, so you will be having an idea of how much resources are consumed. First it was like a 1.3 GB, it's around 1.9 GB. You can compare it by side of the starting of the video and ending of the video. You will have an idea of how much resources are consumed. For me it's almost a 700 MB crossed or used, just for few apps and just for the few settings opening. And here is the CPU is also good. CPU is good, but the RAM is not the lightweight, or for the lightweight Linux distro. And Manjaro is never the lightweight Linux distro, it's like a midweight. So it's up to you if you want to use it as your own PC. For your PC you can use it. If you don't want, it's up to you. It's not for the 2 GB RAM PC, I'm going to clearly say that, because it's already 1.9 GB. It's going to be very laggy. If you have a 2 GB of RAM, it's always 2 GB of RAM should be under 2 GB, because it should be like a 10 like 19, like something like that in numbers. So it's already 1.9 GB. So it's up to you if you want to use it or not. It's up to you. In my opinion it's not going to work, because it's going to be very laggy just for the few apps. You need compulsory, you are going to open the media players and web browsers, so it should be very laggy. So let's check the applications. These are the applications running right now, and the CPU is pretty much stable, and these are the processes running right now. As you can see, these are all the processes running right now. So let's go close this thing and let's check the wallpapers changed or not. The versions is a folder view 3.0, and here are the wallpapers available. Most of them are from the KDE Plasma desktop environment. Not most of them, I guess everything is from KDE Plasma desktop environment. There's nothing from Manjaro Linux. So if you want the wallpapers, you need to add on your own. And let's check out the desktop features, which is calendar and time here, which is almost pretty same in everything, or a KDE Plasma desktop environment, which is same. And here is the status and notification, and here is some disks and devices. Volumes, if you want volumes you can change it. You can even resize this thing, which was changed like a 5.26 or a 5.25 version, not the same thing. And about Yukaki, the version is almost 22.12.2, and here are the updates and the desktop integration or a browser integration. These are a desktop 1 or desktop 2, which is activities like that. I think that's it for the video. Let me take you directly to my channel, because it's almost the ending of the video, and this part is only for the viewers who want to watch my content without subscribing. People who already subscribed, no need to watch this step, you can skip it. You need to just type in youtube.com/r/925linux to visit my channel daily without subscribing. It's up to you if you want to subscribe or not, it's up to you. I'm not going to force you. So this is the URL. I'm using a VPN, so it's going to take a few seconds. And here is our channel available. And if you want to search the specific Linux distro, just type in here like MX Linux, for example. It's going to give you the latest videos. As you can see, I'm going to upload as soon as the ISO file is available, whether it's alpha version, development version, beta version, whatever it is, daily builds like that. I'm going to provide the latest content here, so you don't need to be worried for some other channel. You don't need to be waiting for the content. I will provide as soon as it's available. So everything will be available here. I'm going to post 2 videos daily. Today's another video is Ubuntu. If you want, you can watch that content too. So here is the timings. If you want to visit, you can visit at this timing. The videos will be available before the timings, because I'm going to put it in a premiere mode or a premiere. So here is the playlist. If you here for the only Linux content, just go to the playlist and you will see a Linux and click on view full playlist. It's going to open, and here are the videos. I almost made like 1546 videos on various types of Linux distros and completely different types of Linux distros. I almost completed, or I almost posted like a 70 to 80% of other types of Linux distros which are available in this world, which were different types. I almost completed or posted like 70 to 80% of the Linux distro. If you want to subscribe, you can. If you don't want, it's clearly up to you. So I think that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.